Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another Dark and Darker post-playtest video, and yeah, this was one of my more unique runs in the dungeons of Dark and Darker. We started off around the top right of the regular dungeon, and this is a pretty hard place to start, especially if you come in with no gear like I did in this run, because obviously you've got a champion skeleton just down there, you've got some archers and a pretty big room full of menacing AI. So I instead decided to go through this little trap door to the side, down the bookcase secret door. I managed to deal with that pretty easily. Not too hard to deal with if you have a shield, just play patient and wait for the charge. But yeah, I'm very glad I went down here, because this is actually where I found my first ever unique item in Dark and Darker. Now, I'm not sure about drop rates, but I know finding a unique item in the regular dungeon is extremely low chance, so definitely down in 0.0 percentiles, I imagine. But yeah, it was definitely something which got me on edge for the whole run. You know, when you find a unique item, I think you'd rather find it when you're super geared, you know, when you've got purples and stuff. But unfortunately I did find it with absolutely no gear, so definitely put me on edge. But we did have a bit of a rough start. As you can see here, finding a mimic right in the middle of these traps is, yes, not the easiest thing. And I'm kinda silly and I keep hitting my sword against the stone. Thankfully in the end, we did manage to dispose of it. And I just used my second wind because obviously we came in with nothing, so no healing, and I just want to get myself healed up a little bit. We do manage to find a nice blue leather cap, which we love early on, finding something of decent rarity to get us buffed up a little bit on a 0 to hero. We also get a gambus in 2, it's very, very nice. And yeah, I really hate this room, I'm not gonna lie. These traps are a pain to deal with. I'm pretty sure you can throw your torch on them like I tried earlier and play around timing, but I've still not gotten used to that really. So I'd get on top of the coffin, manage to do a good long jump, and it is here in this room we find our first unique. We get a green surgical kit too. I decide not to use it at the moment because I'm like, yeah, no need. But after I found this, there we are. I have to double take on it quickly. I'm like, is that legendary? No, that's not legendary, that's unique. And yeah, I mean, they're not crazy. They aren't insanely good. They did have 5 buffs on them, which only uniques have, I believe. Some of them are pretty nice, a few others not so useful. And so at this moment I decide, right, gotta pop a surgical kit. We're gonna go full HP, and we're gonna try and get the hell out of here. Whenever you find a unique, guys, for the first time, or even for the second or third time, it's gonna put you on edge for pretty much a whole run. Suddenly this run becomes super valuable, and you have to survive. I managed to just run through the champion room, kite into the door, get it shut, and we run straight into a wraith room, so just again, kiting around the outside for now. Not really in any position to take a fight, or take a good strong fight against more difficult AI opponents, so just vouching for chilling on the sidelines for now. I wanted to play a little bit safer, because I really wanted to get out with my first unique. Just doing a double take on it again, looking at the stats. You know what, they're not terrible. I do see uniques just selling for over 1,000 because people like to buy uniques. And that kind of made me want to get out with this alive. I do hear steps on the other side here. Just again, chilling out. Making sure we don't draw too much attention to ourselves. And after a little bit of waiting, I eventually decide to get a move on. Circle's starting to push me out. And yeah, we don't really want to be playing outside of the circle on this run unless we have to, because we don't have too much healing. Now this isn't the most action-packed run, guys, and I understand that. But you know, it's useful for loot runs, and definitely for people who like to play on the edge, or kind of get in and out. It is not a bad run to learn from. Even if you're playing a fighter, or any other class other than rogue, you can play sneaky and play around the edge. I do encounter a couple of AI in this room, not too much of a problem. Just killing the skeletons nice and easy with the fighter. We're not wearing too much armor or anything that's weighing us down, so easy enough to kite with movement speed. You know, I saw a video recently about movement speed and people coming in completely naked and taking advantage of movement speed buffs. Because actually when you look at the stats in Dark and Darker, I'm probably going to make a video on the stats in Dark and Darker because it's quite interesting. You actually start with most stats being in the negative. And if you're putting on more armor that hurts that, it's really making you super slow. So a lot of people are running with no gear and really just playing around their movement speed. And you know, it makes you vulnerable, but you know, if you're playing like a ranger, or you're playing mostly just a ranger, to be honest. Other fighters and rogues and things can take advantage of it. It's a little bit more difficult because in close quarters, if you're not wearing anything, one hit and you are done. But for rangers, they can just sprint around at full speed with absolutely nothing on, and like a purple survival bow or recurve bow, and they can pretty much wreak havoc. So it'd be interesting to see them maybe tinker a little bit with movement speed and not wearing armor, not wearing clothes, things like that. Or maybe give buffs to movement speed for clothes. I know they do have that with some of them, with the boots. Light foot boots, I think, and a couple of others. Be interesting if they could develop on that a little bit more. But yeah, we delete the AI and we move forward into the labyrinth maze. Now this is a bit of a dangerous place to be, because you don't really have anywhere to run if you get into encounters. It's just thin, narrow corridors after thin, narrow corridors. So, again, playing pretty safe. Listening out for footsteps. Now if you're solo and you're doing a loot run like this, it is very important to get information. Because as soon as you're moving too much, if someone hears you even for a second, if you walk into their audio range, you're in big trouble. And they're probably going to lock onto you, especially if it's a 3-stack. And I do run into traps here like an absolute idiot. Luckily I do have a bandage to heal up a little bit. That was a pretty strong bandage too. I think it was a green one. But yeah, taking advantage of audio in this game, definitely very important. You can get a lot of information from audio. You know, what weapons people are using. Directional audio is very helpful as to where people are. You can hear people use items too, drinking potions, things like that. And we do hear an escape portal pop up somewhere here. So I'm looking for a way out. Fortunately we can't break the barricade there. Seems to be unbreakable. So I have to run back into the circle and do a little bit of a loop around. Find a little nook there that we can sit in, and then head back into the centre. Head out towards the centre of the circle, hoping that I can find something. And that is where I do. Looks like we just missed the team, escaping to our right. Get the portal open, and we managed to escape. Pretty tense run, nothing crazy. And I do manage to find a seller for the gloves. I sold them pretty cheap at 550, as they didn't have the best stats and I didn't want to force anyone to pay a crazy amount for them. But yeah, I mean, just goes to show, guys. 0 to hero, we get a few nice items, and we make over 550 gold, so You don't always need to be PvPing if you want to make a lot of gold, guys. These little goblin loot runs can go a long, long way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.